when we were leaving off just a minute ago, we were talking about how some things might unfortunately fall by the wayside with the landscape the way it is. And I wondered, we talked more about that in a programmatic sense just a minute ago. I wondered if that affects local artists and local businesses too. Jamie, we'll start with you and in Brown County and go back that way. Lots and lots of little artisan shops in Brown County and in Nashville. Are you seeing some of the smaller shops sort of come and go with the ebb and flow of the economy?
Well, I think that's happening everywhere. I don't think that's unique to Nashville, but I also want to stress on a positive note, I'm seeing a lot more shops and studios opening up in Nashville itself, which are artist-run studios. So we're kind of seeing a trend back towards what Nashville was founded on, which is more of an art colony. And I think that's only going to be good for the artists to really concentrate on handmade goods. So I've noticed several new studios opening up this past summer and this fall.
I guess the question might be, how long can they last, though?
Well, I think that depends on how well we promote ourselves. Nashville has a lot of tourism. I mean, it is not in shortage of tourism. It's the challenge is the buying tourists and people to come and actually purchase goods, purchase artwork. And I'd say at the Brown County Art Guild, our original painting sales are very up this year over last year. And so I really am looking at this kind of in a very optimistic, cautiously optimistic frame of mind, because I'm seeing more art-related businesses opening, and I'm seeing painting sales go up, and I'm also seeing an increase in tourism. Our foot traffic is up 38% over last year. So I think it's not necessarily going in a wrong direction. I think we just need to be very careful because funds are tight for everybody.
Donna, we think about Columbus and its architecture, and we think about it, I think, on a city-wide scale. You think about this whole city that's committed to this architectural vision, and then you see on a more local level places like Hotel Indigo opening an art gallery inside of it. How are the people who are doing small business ventures like that faring in your city?
Well, I think they're doing pretty well. First of all, there's a vibrancy in downtown Columbus that is stunning with the building of the new commons, culinary arts. I mean, the fact that there are wonderful restaurants within walking distance of my office, and that's new. Sahara Coast, this wonderful place, was refurbished and brought back to life by a local businessman. So we have that kind of thing is happening. You mentioned the Phi Gallery at Hotel Indigo. That is, I work with the Columbus Museum of Art and Design, and I curate that gallery. That I could book that 3 years in advance because local artists really want a place to show their work. So what I'm looking for, and I think we all have to do, is look at ways that we can provide free spaces for these people where they can come and show their artwork and have the opportunity to sell their artwork.
Maya, let me ask you about that idea in Bloomington. There's a lot of space downtown that's devoted to art, and some of that is kind of high rent space. But what about the idea that Donna just brought up of sort of the pro bono art space, just really art for art's sake? Is there an opportunity on both ends of the economic scale?
Well, I mean, I think we've certainly seen restaurants and what we'd say sort of non-traditional art spaces open their doors to artists. We have a lot of our local restaurants who exhibit art and the work of artists regularly. So, I mean, Bloomington, I think, gets that integration of visual art, the arts within sort of its business operations in a great way. I think, there's always an opportunity out there to bring art into new spaces. And I think we're seeing businesses who may have a vacant storefront for now be amenable to a pop-up gallery or a pop-up. For example, the Lotus store is currently an empty storefront in Fountain Square, south of the square in downtown Bloomington. Lotus is selling its festival merchandise there. Great partnership between the arts and local business. So I think for Bloomington, our local business community, I think, has embraced it and continues to embrace it further and further as they find ways to integrate the arts into sort of their business operation, because they see it's good business. They see people are interested. They see people patronize places that have our local art on the walls or serve local food on their tables and things like that. So I think for Bloomington, it's been smart business to integrate the arts into pretty much everywhere we possibly can.
Well, my thanks to the three of you. We've unfortunately run out of time, but I think this is one of those discussions that, you know, it's interesting, the three perspectives that the three of you brought to it, because you are one and the same, and then at the same time you are three distinct entities that I think have come together in an interesting way in the last year or so. So my thanks to the three of you for being here and allowing us to quiz you a little bit about how that's worked. Thanks so much. My thanks also to my co-host this evening, Annie Corrigan. Annie, thanks for pinch hitting. We appreciate you being here.
Thanks, Dan. It was fun.
Please do send us your questions for our next program. Our email address is infocus@indiana.edu. You can also leave a comment, or you can see portions of this show by visiting our website. That is indianapublicmedia.org/infocus. And thanks to all of you who watched and listened. Have a nice night.
Production support for In Focus is provided by Smithville, a locally owned business serving central and southern Indiana since 1922, with residential and business internet, voice, and security services. Smithville, local pride, global technology. Information at smithville.net. Hoosier Energy, providing electricity for central and southern Indiana electric cooperatives and their member customers. Information at hepn.com. And by viewers like you. Thank you.